3.0, approval of the agenda. I need a motion. So moved. Deb, second.
I'll second.
Is it Mark?
Yep.
Okay. Any discussions about the agenda? If not, those in favor of approving the agenda say aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay, 4.0 public opinion, we have none. 5.0 is approval of the consent agenda, and I'll need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, John. Have a second on that?
I'll second.
Ben, any discussion on the consent
I'm
agenda?
gonna need to abstain from voting due to a couple.
Okay, okay.
I had one question just out of awareness. So with the policy 516, the student medication and telehealth, where it said we need to have like telehealth rooms available for like mental health appointments. Do we have much of that occurring with Woodland?
You went a slightly different direction than I thought. I would say maybe a month, 2, and we just make our conference rooms available.
Okay.
And even to the point to where if we have a student who's in school suspension, we'll remove that student so the other student can come in and have privacy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah, our Woodland Centers being in-house provides a tremendous opportunity for our students to not have to use telehealth.
right, that's what my assumption was. I was just curious if that was something that,
It's not frequent.
okay.
Just, I'll drop it off with you, Adam, but just a comment about the student transportation policy too. It doesn't reference pre-K, it talks about K through 12. And I know we do transport younger students, I'm wondering if we need to revise that to reflect.
We can, so that's MSBA's recommendation is always K-12, but we can put in pre-K, it won't be, I'll just add it in there.
I'll drop off I wrote a little scribble,
Oh.
I'll drop it off,
Perfect.
and I'll scan and email it to you.
Yeah, the only thing I noticed was on that policy 515, which would have been which one? Oh, the pupil records one. Yeah, and under number 3 definitions, it talks about and letter M, it says responsible authority is, and there's just a blank there that we need to fill in. That's all. And I suppose we just put the superintendent, because if we start writing people's names in there, then we have to update them all the time, so. It was a blank on that. Any other questions or discussion?
Thank the teacher that is retiring.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely,
Congratulations.
yeah. Okay, those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye. Aye, as opposed, nay. So 6.0 communications report. Katie has just had a written report in there. So up next is Jim Trulock.
But before Jim, just so everybody knows, the FFA apologizes, they didn't know that they're sick, and they didn't want to do it without their full team, so they've asked to go next month, and we,
Sure, not a problem.
And that's just a demonstration?
Yeah.
it'll be
Yeah.
a 6-minute one. Normally it's 11 or 12,
Okay.
but
Yeah, they do a bang-up job. with
yeah,
it, too.
they're really excited, and
Yes.
it's the team that went to state. So if you'd like the full one, you can let me know, or if you think 6 minutes is fine, that's what it's scheduled.
All right, Jim.
All right, well, good evening. I won't read it all, but I do think it's important to always give some highlights and stuff. I do want to thank Janie Albertson. She's been our coach for 15 years, and she decided to retire this year. The dance coach also at RCW also retired, so at this point we have no dance coach. And number 2 was one of the things that I have, big concern about. We have 3 returning dancers from MACCRAY, and we don't at this time know of any 6th graders coming in, and they have 2. And I believe 5 is the minimum you could even have a team, and that's also really, really difficult. I did reach out to RCW, and we do have, a couple of really good dancers, and you like to give them opportunities too. But I did reach out, and they are gonna talk it over as their activities committee. I guess they're gonna talk it over just to see if they would ever be interested in allowing any more in. They have been a top-notch team in the state for a lot of years, but they also, their numbers are dropping dramatically. And,
YME. You said
excuse me, what did
RCW.
I say? Yeah, I'm sorry,
YME.
YME, thank you. Yeah, YME is, their numbers are dropping drastically considering they're top 3 in the state year after year after year. Anyway, that would be up to you guys, but I'm trying to put some feelers out just in case. But right now, I think it'd be really hard for us to have a dance team next year with the numbers we have. Number 3 is kind of a big one. You guys, if you've ever looked at the Our Schools activities page, Our Schools is no more. A company called Arbiter bought them out. Arbiter has been used for quite a few years by officials. We've never really jumped on the bandwagon. Our officials prefer to get a check. Tim Beesman's okay doing that. And arbiters, they sometimes have to wait months to get electronically paid. And again, of all the officials I've ever asked, absolutely every one of them prefer getting a check from this thing going to Arbiter. Well, Arbiter bought out Our Schools, but they pretty much were not prepared. So I went to, they've been sending out stuff like crazy for months to do the transition over, and I'm really glad I didn't do the transition. A few schools did in our conference. And then I went to a meeting over at YME for this part of the state, and really a bad presentation. They half the answers were, we're working on that, we have a tech team on that, we're gonna get that figured out. And then we found out South Dakota and Iowa use Bound, and we've had some of the big schools up in like the Big Lake area, whatever conference they all decided to go with Bound. So we set up a meeting with them in Redwood Falls, and they had sent someone from Iowa. And I know that's a negative right off the bat, but it was absolutely fantastic. They are they are closer to what we're used to with Our Schools. Pretty much their whole board and everybody are ex-athletic directors. It's very user-friendly. They answered every single question. There was nothing, we're working on it. And our conference decided unanimously to go with Bound, even though a couple had already started the transition. Now, the conference with Laverne and Redwood, a couple of them came to that meeting. They had already decided, and they have now backed out. More than half the schools in the state of Minnesota now backed out Arbiter for the same reason they're going with Bound. Now it's about $1,750 a year, and the good thing is we could do everything with it right now. And don't ask me what we pay, because Kayla takes care of the registration. But we have that registration program. We have what Katie and I use, our program that we do all of our scheduling, and then they have their own electronic payment. Everything we could combine in Bound, and for Bound Plus, that's what the $1,750 is. If we would sell 80% of our admissions electronically, they will waive that $1,750. Now, that's the second part of this, is I would like us to go to 100 cashless next year. And I know when we first started a couple of years ago, we were against it, kind of for the elderly, but I'll tell you, more and more schools are doing it. If you go to Montevideo, if you go to any state tournament, if you go to Laverne, what do you need, Rob? Go ahead.
Just in here?
Sure. Shaking her water bottle at me. I had to get her a drink. Welcome back. So people know how to do it, and they give us an electronic reader. These schools, like I said, at first I was real skeptical too. Can the elderly do it? And I remember Deb saying she's at the state tournament and saw some elderly in tears. Well, we've been doing this now for 3 years, and I don't hear anybody have a problem when they go to Monty. Now the good thing is, what I would do is, we probably could, if push comes to shove, and there'd be some, we're not gonna turn anybody away. So we could, the people that are the ticket takers probably have it on their phone, they could probably purchase a ticket for them if really push came to shove, and we can help people through it. But that'd be a way to get this for free and really free up some of Tim Beesman's time. He spends a lot of time on cash boxes. And we would not, it keeps exact numbers, so whoever that gets in free, we don't get charged. But we would still, every staff member, bus driver, every senior citizen that we let in, they get scanned in. Bound doesn't charge us, but it gives us exact numbers, which right now we do not know how many people come to our events, because it's only when we pull the tickets for cash paying customers. So, any questions or comments on that?
Is there a way to do credit card payment with some of that?
I believe so.
Okay, that's still cashless, but I mean,
Yes.
everybody would have a
Ortonville had the idea that they might just purchase like a cash card, and the people that came in, if they say, hey, can we pay the $10, they might just scan it through, so they're doing the electronic to get this 1850. We would still like to work through, help them for a year, because again, there's been a big change from 2 to 3 years ago when we started this, of how people do it.
Well, I think it's something that's eventually just goes away. You know what I mean, where people will just quit paying cash after enough time, when
Yeah.
people get up to speed, but in the meantime, I think it's nice that you can still offer that cash option, like with that card or something, or like
Yeah.
you said, a credit
But
card or something.
if we do continue to leave the cash box out there, I still think people are just gonna keep coming in and paying cash. I think we kinda gotta take that away with our ticket takers having the understanding that we're going to not turn anybody away and we're going to help them. You know, that would be the big.
Is this just for tickets or is this concessions?
Right
too?
now, they can do it through concessions. I don't wanna take on that much right away, but we're gonna start out with, well, I'd like to start out with this, so, and again, it's your decision, in my opinion, is I don't have to know that right now, I'd like to know next month, you guys would like to think on it for a month. So on, and if you have other questions, please email me and I'll reach out to Bound and try to figure that out too. It does look like 5 or 6 of the schools in the conference right now are planning on going cashless, including YME, he's taking it to his superintendent. Lackaparow Valley's going to, there are a couple that I can think of, but I think TME, was planning on it because they want to get this 1,750 waived. But then I think probably 6 of the schools in the conference are going to probably do that.
What is the percentage that they're gonna charge us for swiping a credit card? Because that can add up.
It's-
There's coffee shops like in
Yes,
Lulu Beans, they prefer cash.
I can't remember for sure, but I think it's the same as what GoFan and the one that we use
Probably
have been
3%.
doing, so it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't remember. But how about I email, or I'll have Adam or Kim email that out, I do have it written down someplace.
Is that an app then that has a code on it?
Yes, and we can actually use our cell phones if we want, if the card reader would go down, or if we want to open up multiple lines and stuff like that.
Because there will be at the first volleyball games and the first basketball games, people coming that won't be prepared for that. There'd have to be somebody there helping, for sure, if that's.
And we would work hard to do that, we would have extra people and be standing out there, and we'd really get the word out, you know, we send some stuff through schools so people are aware, there's still gonna be some. And like, again, I guess there'll be a few growing pains in the fall season if we do it, and I would guess by winter, it'll be slick as ice.
Do they have card readers? You said
Yeah,
something. They provide a card
Yes.
reader? So like at Monty, like Tim and I just walked in, handed our card, they stuck it in the little card reader and we had our tickets.
Yeah,
Or
it's
what
a
is
scanner, but we cover a lot of information in 2.5 hours, so,
So is our concession still all cash?
yes.
Okay.
What are the security systems set up to prevent fraud?
They had a huge, a big meeting on it, did you watch that one, Kim? Oh, no, didn't you watch the meeting that day? I sent it to you.
The technical one, yes.
Yes. Yeah, so they're very secure, and they did a webinar for us about it and all that kind of stuff. And again, this is not a new company, they've been around quite a while.
They use a company that, I forget what the company's called, but it's a well-known company for processing card transactions.
It'd be nice to know what the percentage they're gonna charge us, cause it might cost us more than what we realize for swiping the cards.
It is costing this, it's no more than the one we're using right now, I can't get the word.
Banco and
Banco, and like right now, one of the complaints GoFan and stuff a lot of the other schools went to, they're greatly raising their prices. It's not, I believe it's the same or less than those companies, but I can't remember what the amount is. I think it's $1 a ticket.
What I do like, I know technology changes, but I'm gonna advocate for families that are low income, that might have to pay cash for things because they don't have credit cards, or they maxed them out, or whatever reasons. And I think if we do something, I would like to see that we have that card that people could pay cash.
Right.
And then we could swipe it, because then that way we have met the needs of the parents or the grandparents that are coming in that possibly don't have the technology to use electronic stuff.
We 100%, I guess that's one of the things I wanna make clear is, we will not turn anybody away. I mean, we're letting them in. and we'll find a way to make it work, so it's not embarrassing or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you.
I understand that, like, there's a lot of transition as you talk about other schools doing different stuff, and I think one thing that would be nice would be, and I know this is kind of out of our control to a certain degree, but like, let's pick something and stick with it, you know, rather than going to Venco and now this thing, and I hope it's good, and again, they're changing too, but I think, like, that first learning curve, I remember one of the first football games, like, it was
Yeah.
long lines, and like, I think once you just get more familiar with it, and if we can be consistent, I think it's gonna be.
When
way
again,
smoother.
you know, I'm kind of forced to change, I'm not forced to go away from Vanco, but it wouldn't make sense to not do this, because
Right.
we're paying Vanco and we're paying this fee.
Yeah,
You know, so it wouldn't make sense to not make the change with the whole package.
Yeah.
And the other nice thing is, all 12 of our schools in the Camden are going to this.
Yeah.
So everybody will have balance, so our fans, no matter if it's home or away, it's gonna be exactly the same system.
that would be super nice too.
So, anything else on that?
One of the ways to make it easier if you, we let the students in for free.
It's coming up.
That's like the foreshadow.
Number 5, I just wanted again to acknowledge Kennedy Shamwa. They did a really good job of this year in Math League. Kennedy finished 18 out of 90. Also, this is the best our knowledgeable team has done for a long time. We got 4th out of 18, and what a good year. There's a lot of years we didn't even qualify for the region event, and of course, I really like taking on things I don't know anything about, so we are hosting that coming up. First time that we've ever hosted the Knowledge Bowl event, and then our team makes it, so that's kind of exciting. But those 4 are a fantastic job. I don't know, I was gonna let Mark mention something. Our girls, his daughter and 3 total made it to state for gymnastics. I didn't see that they placed. I did reach out to the coach, but do you have anything you wanted to say about it, or?
Yeah, it was a great experience. The team was a half point short for qualifying as a team, but then 3 of them went as individuals, had a really good time, learned a lot, definitely a learning opportunity, and I can say for the one gymnast that I know the best, she's ready to get back in the gym and hit it again next year, so.
I heard she did a new routine.
Yeah.
I did hear that.
Good.
Well, good, congratulations to all of them. Should have made her come in here, but Brielle Johnson, you kind of saw, there are a lot more stats that are fantastic, but in your board report, I just put the 3 that were school records. I think when she broke the scoring record last year, her coach had it at about 1,700 points, so she darn near doubled Sean's, so I think we'll just wipe that one off the board. So really, congratulations to what a fantastic career. She's made the first team all-state she's gonna play in the first team all-state basketball game. Just like I said, phenomenal basketball player, and congratulations to the team. Boys tennis season, I got 1 person signed up, so I will not be having boys tennis again, which is really disappointing. I hired a potential coach, and we had a couple meetings, and we've got some flyers hung up and things like that. We just can't seem to spark any interest. Spring play, look at those dates on number 10. Please attend if you can. They work very, very hard. A large group was today. I did not get an update on how they did. Second page, congratulations, another board member's daughter, Sadie Hagmeyer. What a fantastic finish at the spelling bee. One place away from being in Washington, D.C. So that's quite an accomplishment for anybody, much less a 6th grader. So congratulations to your daughter. Thanks for approving the spring coaches. You see Brian Brandt came out after 1 year retirement. He came back to help us out because I was short a coach. And I'm still working on a junior high baseball coach. I had one Friday morning that resigned Friday afternoon. So, but otherwise all other spring coaches are filled. And last thing is I just want to congratulate all the winter teams, girls basketball, Blake Grimsley in hockey, the gymnasts, girls basketball, boys basketball, and wrestling on the successes they have this season. So unless you have questions, that's all I have. Tell Ben to bring something up.
Only one you didn't talk about.
Jacob Savick.
Oh, I missed, yep. We had one wrestler through the pairing. He's actually an RCW student. He had only 2 losses on the year going into the state tournament, and they were both to the Minneota kid, and then of course, in what's called the blood round, that's to place or be out. In the blood round, he met that same Minneota kids and lost in overtime. So he had a fantastic, he's had a good career for us there, and our numbers have really grown. I think MACCRAY numbers ended with 19 wrestlers out, and we started the season with, I think, signed up were 24, but at least 2 of them did make the first week, so I don't know, they were just kind of trying out, but that's the start. We got a brand new head coach, and he came over and he and our coach RJ had meetings with every single wrestler at the end of the season, and I really expect that program to have some positive results with the dedication and what's going on with the number increases. I think we possibly have the most out of the 3 districts, most athletes.
Right. Thanks, Jim.
Yep.
Okay, Todd Bertram for Elementary has just had a written report. So now we have Jim.
Thank you. So my class highlight for you for this month is going to be our 9th grade class, the class of 2029. And just as a little foreshadowing, of course, and my next one will be at the May board meeting, and I will talk about this graduating class. So excited to see what the seniors have to share when we do their interviews. Interesting group. So this little group shot of the 9th grade crew right there. They even got some thumbs up from one kiddo in the back right hand corner. They're an interesting class overall. They tend to be a little bit more on the quiet side. 9th grade is one of those years. I talk about the transition into going and becoming a high schooler. Even though our middle school kids are around the high school kids, there's something a little bit different about being a 9th grader, and so they're going through that transition now. As far as the demographics go, let's speak for themselves. The one thing I do want to highlight is the attendance number, because one of the greatest indicators of academic success for any students is butts in the seats. And so you see with 94% attendance, that's pretty solid for a 9th grade class, and so proud of them for that. Other than that, the numbers are the numbers when it comes to the demographics. Again, as 9th graders, their first opportunity to truly participate in high school athletics and other activities. Like with the 6th grade crew, when I presented that was primarily our community ed numbers that I shared with you. So now I can share the true activity numbers with you. So pretty impressive when you're looking at about 63 kids in the class. You can see what the numbers look like as far as overall participation in the grade. That's really solid. So continuation, this the slide should look similar to what you saw the last time. I just updated it with the 9th grade participation. So you in the 6th grade you saw a high number of mentees, and so now you see we have the transition with the high school kids becoming more on the mentor side, and only one mentee. So we typically don't rely on our 9th graders as mentors to fill in, but this year we had some older kids who did not feel comfortable with being a mentor, so we asked some of our 9th graders to step up and did a good job to support our buddies program. This is the exact same slide as I had before, again talking about PBIS with the end of the quarter coming up on March 20th. Every year I talk about how quick the year goes. Yes, we're already going to be sliding into the 4th quarter here pretty quick. We'll be having our 3rd quarter PBIS cookie handout will be coming up probably in the beginning of April a little bit. So we'll recognize everybody who got an electronic write-up as part of our PBIS program. As far as supports for the 9th grade, this is the slide I was talking about with the transition, and this is going to kind of dovetail into my next slide. But again, it's the full transition of students into the world of high school and earning credits. And so one of the things that we've started to do, one of the things that was an important note for me when I came to the high school, start having more exposure for our students. When I was in high school in Ohio, we had I felt like it was a robust opportunity to have job shadowing opportunities, to have career exploration, to have college, more I don't want to just say college visits, because that's depending on the family imperative of that and choosing to take those tours. That's on them, but to have the schools come in, have them have the opportunity, like our job shadow or college visit day that we have right around NEA every year. Those are the things that we want to keep going, because we want to keep peppering the students with the opportunity to start thinking about what they could do. Because we all know from our own experience, I would venture to say most of us probably changed our minds a few times, from 9th grade maybe even well into college, and I was one of them. So the last opportunity we had for the kids, we actually had through the Minnesota River Valley Career Tech Ed Consortium, we hosted the career fair, would have been last Wednesday. And so they came in, we had about 30 tables set up, and the kids were able to go by grade level. They were able to walk around and talk to different things from like MnDOT, and Minnesota Engineering, the National Guard was there, Bridgewater was there. So it was just a really, really cool opportunity. And then they had some bingo boards, and as long as they visited the table, they could fill out the board. And then we had a drawing for some $5 gift cards for the kids for completing that. So again, just opportunity to get the kids thinking about it. And because we had the Parley presentation that was going to be happening today, I didn't record any kids. So that's I will make sure our senior class this year, when we have the opportunity to do some recordings, they will be entertaining. I guarantee you that. So when I presented May, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of fun stuff comes out of their mouths, and we'll have a good time with them, I'm sure. So, and to me, the really cool thing going from the class of 2029, now we're going to start talking about the class of 2035. Do you have any questions for me at all about our ninth graders?
Okay, I guess not. All right, thanks, Judd.
Thank you.
All right, Adam, you were up.
So, it's been a busy month, but it capped off today with something really fun. We met with the foundation, the Clarence City Foundation. I don't know their exact title, but Mr. Gunner invited us to come speak because they were gonna add 2 pickleball courts right next to the basketball court there, so the community would have 2 courts. But then in talking with that and Mr. Trulock and Kim, before we got there, we said, why wouldn't we just do what so many people are doing, is add pickleball lines to our tennis? So they were gonna have 2 courts. So after we met today, they're gonna partner with Mr. Trulock on the color of the paint, and we're gonna pick 1 tennis court to start with and the basketball court, and put portable nets, just like a lot of places have, to start to see the usage and if it has any impact on our tennis. So that way the city can save all that money. It gets our students next to adults, some playing tennis, some playing pickleball, just promotes more of a community. So that seemed to go very well. Now the foundation's gonna take it back, but I think that'll go through. Our only condition is that they partner with our activities director on that paint color, so they don't put in white or yellow to interfere with our high school athletes, because our tennis center is unbelievably nice, and people put in a lot of work. So we had that. We're rolling out the apprenticeship program. I know you've read a little bit about that. The interest surveys are going out, so hopefully we'll have our students and one of the adults in the area to come and work with us for 3 years, and at the end of 3 years, they'll have no college debt. They'll have 2 Minnesota Department of Ed Tier 3 licenses, and we'll be able to groom and show them what it's like, what we expect from our teachers, hands-on. So that's exciting. That costs us, we're guessing now, pretty much a couple hours a week total, as they do some of their schoolwork during their day, like 7:30 to 8:30 or 3:30 to 4:30. But they have night work, they have some summer work, but it's totally funded as a way to get teachers. And we've identified our need as elementary ed is the carrot to get people in special ed. And then if it goes well, we might eventually add EL, but our principals have been working hard. Kim's been working hard, and so we met with Wilmer, so that's gonna get rolled out this week. So that's the update there.
How many students can you accept into that program?
So we're only gonna take 1 and 1, but Judd doesn't know this yet, but if we have more, oh, you do, because we did talk about, we have some students. We have a partnership with Wilmer, so they're a year ahead of us, and they're the ones finding all the money. And they're gonna take, if we have 3 or 4 students interested, we're gonna take the one that best fits us, and we're gonna offer them the opportunity to go interview at Wilmer, because they said they have such a need. So students, we can take a whole bunch. We're not really putting that out for all of our parents, because we don't need everybody leaving. So we wanna keep are here, but we're really gonna, if the students wanna save that money and get a full tier 3 license, just like if you went to school for 4 years, that they'll have that, so. But as to grow, if we see more need, we can always add, but we wanna start slow to go fast, to make sure we do it right, and there's no surprise fees popping up that, when you say it's free, we'd like it to be free for all 4 years, and Woomer's saying they have the money to fulfill that.
The degree then they get is, that they get is from where?
So this one, for special ed and elementary ed will be through SMSU, right down